Okay, last stage. So we had the bhava was the flower, fully manifested flower. Asakti was the bud, and then we have the flower, and then we get the fruit. So prema is the fruit. When we get the fruit, the other things don't disappear. So we still have bhava there. We still have asakti in one sense. The positive aspects of all of these things remain. So we also get kleshagni, anarjana vritti, sudurlabhata, moksha laguta kriti. Those remain also. And we get some extra qualities also as well. So what do we get? Two qualities that manifest in prema are sandrananda, concentrated bliss. There was bliss in bhava stage more than in brahmananda, but the bliss in prema is even much more than the bliss in bhava stage. So it's called sandrananda, not just ananda, sandrananda. Very concentrated bliss. And Krishna Karshini manifests in prema. Prema attracts Krishna. Krishna becomes the servant of that person in prema. Of course, all bhakti is attractive to Krishna, but Krishna surrenders to the person in prema, most of all. And there was possessiveness in bhava stage. It becomes extreme possessiveness in prema, so that one cannot separate oneself from Krishna for a moment. And if one does, one goes into great misery. So there's a great greed for Krishna, which overcomes all obstacles. That's actually the definition of prema, that all obstacles disappear. And the example is given of the gopis. All obstacles are put in their way, and still they went to Krishna because of prema. So the parents tried to instruct them, the husbands tried to instruct them, everybody. They locked them in the house, still they went to Krishna. So there's no obstacle can obstruct prema. So Krishna does not appear constantly, he will appear suddenly and then disappear. And consequently the person develops more attraction and greed for Krishna. And longing keeps increasing. And you want to get more bliss. And Krishna appears to all the senses. Before, in bhava stage, the senses, and the hearing, smelling, tasting were there. And suddenly in prema, simultaneously all the senses are affected by Krishna, perceiving Krishna. So, he reveals his form through the eyes, fragrance through the nose, voice through the ear, touches the devotee, revealing his youthfulness, reveals taste by Madhurya rasa, and then simultaneously everything is manifest to the devotee. It's called audharya. And he bestows kripa shakti, by which the devotee can experience all of Krishna's qualities. So, as I said, that the Supreme Lord is not always manifest. So when the meeting takes place, the devotee experiences the highest bliss. And separation, then he feels pain, greatest pain. But then the Lord comes again, and then he gets bliss again. So there's constantly getting bliss and pain, bliss and pain. So, and we'll see that in the example of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Puri. Sometimes he'd be in great agony, and be lamenting, and scratching the wall, and doing all sorts of injuring his body. And other times he's great bliss when he sees Krishna. So this is what happens to the devotee in prema. A great separation, great anxiety, and then great bliss in meeting the Lord. So, at this stage, at one stage, the body itself, is in bhava stage, body was like useless. In prema, it becomes even worse. It is an obstacle, absolutely an obstacle to the prema. And with that material body, one cannot experience everything in prema, so it's actually an anartha. So therefore, at a certain stage, the devotee gives up his material body completely, enters into a spiritual body, and goes to the spiritual world, like that. Okay, that's it. So we have the stages here. Shraddha, Sadhusanga, Vajanakriya, Anarthanavritti, Nishta, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, and Prema. These are mentioned in the Nectar devotion. There are higher stages. Thought Prema is the end. No. It's only the beginning. So, the fruit was the Prema. But there are higher fruits also. So Sneha is higher than Prema. When prema becomes very thick in the heart and melts, it's called sneha. You cannot tolerate separation. Higher than that is man. This takes place in Madhurya rasa only. In this, pride and anger manifest in the gopis, for instance. Pranaya. Sneha loses its respect, and there's a complete intimacy with the Supreme Lord. Raga is even more intense. Even a slight indication of Krishna will produce the greatest happiness, in spite of being completely sad or lamenting. If a slight appearance of Krishna will give the greatest happiness. Anuraga is even higher. Every experience becomes ever fresh. And Mahabhava is the highest stage, only experienced by the gopis. And in that stage, there's all sorts of remarkable symptoms. So, we go from Rati or Bhava to Prema, to Sneha, to Man, Pranaya, Raga, Anuraga, and Mahabhava is the highest stage of all. I wonder what's that. Well, actually, these are also manifested in different rasas. So Prema is Dasya rasa, for instance, and Sneha will be Sakya rasa, and Vatsalya rasa goes up to Raga. And everything after that, Anuraga Mahabhava, is only Madhurya rasa. So these are greater intensities of loving relationship after Prema. Okay. That was a separation prayer. No? You've gone to Mathura now, I cannot see you. That's Radha lamenting for Krishna's separation. So that's a Vipralamba Bhava. Generally, we have to go through all stages. Get up to, at least you have to get to Nishta. Before that's a little uncertain. If you get a Nishta, then you generally are going to go to Asakti, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, Prema, in general. And that's one commits great aparads. Well, if we see here, we can say that most of the devotees are somewhere in the Madhyama stage. They're not in the Kanishta stage because the Kanishta doesn't even appreciate other devotees. He doesn't know scripture. So the Madhyama appreciates other devotees, Sadhu Sangha. He understands scripture, accepts all the conclusions, understands the difference in devotees, etc. So most people get to that stage, Madhyama, which means in terms of they're somewhere between an Arta, Nivritti, and Nishta, somewhere in that area. Well, we said there were symptoms here, symptoms of anishta, like Vishaya Sangara, Tarangarangani, etc. If you're anishta was absence of loya, vikshap, etc. So there are symptoms by which one can judge certain levels. Well, Madhyamadikari has to become Uttama. Can, but of course that means he would be in Madhurya Rasa. If he doesn't choose Madhurya Rasa, choose Sakya Rasa, you've come to Sneha level only. But it's above Prema anyway. Oh, it's not finished. Yeah, this is an analysis of attachment. We talked about attachment. So we have material attachment and spiritual attachment. So attachment's not wrong, but it has to be directed towards Krishna. If it's attached toward ourself and material objects, then it's opposite. So we call this mamata, possessiveness, and ahankara, concept of I. So in the material world, this is ahankara. I am the material body. I'm attached to these material things in my material body. So this is not good. This is opposite of prema. So if we simply strive to remove the ahankara, we end up with liberation. The other ahankara is an identity. I am so-and-so person, and we relate to Krishna. So ahankara is not bad. It's actually inherent in the jiva, but not the false ahankara. That's due to the, material coverings. So the real ahankara is I am a servant of Krishna. I exist, and I have a possessiveness of Krishna. This produces prema. So we saw that mamata, or possessiveness, was there in bhava, and it was greatly possessive in prema. So we can analyze the stages in terms of attraction to matter, or possessiveness and material possessiveness, and spiritual possessiveness. So in the beginning stage, attraction to matter is achantiki, which means extreme. Mostly matter. A little bit of attraction to Krishna, like a little fragrance, gandha matra, a little trace is there. Mostly it's material attraction. That's Shraddha stage. But that's enough to begin the process of bhakti. It's enough to attract Krishna. Gandha, little gandha. Sadhu Sangha becomes a little bit bitter gandha. Gandha, not gandha matra, a little stronger gandha, a little fragrance. Bhajana Kriya, it's a little bit less attraction to matter, and Ekadeshavarti means a little part for Krishna. Little part of the Atma is dedicated to Krishna, the rest is dedicated to Maya. Anarshana Vritti, Prayakti means generally for matter still. Anarshana Vritti, a little bit more for Krishna. Nishta, Bahudeshavarti, Bahudet, in many places, so it's like equal here. In Ruchi, then the matter becomes Ekadeshavartini, becomes smaller, localized, and for Krishna becomes Prayaki, more general. So more for Krishna, less for Maya. In Asakti stage, Gandha, for a trace of material attraction, and for Krishna's Purna. It's almost completely same. And in Bhava stage, Gandha Matra and Achantiki, very, very strong attraction to Krishna, very, very little for Maya in Bhava stage. And in Prema, nothing for Maya. And Parama Achantiki, extremely for Krishna only. So this is just the English translation of that. Okay, so accordingly, as we get part of one, less of one, we get more of the other. We have more of Maya, we have less of attraction to Krishna. We have more of Krishna, we have less of it. So the more you fill yourself up with Krishna, the less Maya is there. So when you completely fill yourself up with Krishna, then no more Maya. So one of the activity is to increase the attraction for Krishna. Automatically the attraction to Maya decreases. If we only try to get rid of the Maya, this is like jnana. So we get rid of the attraction to Maya, not by suppressing things, but by just developing the attraction to Krishna. When that's complete, then automatically attraction to Maya is gone. Like that. So therefore, this is again that diagram. So as we progress, the attachment to Krishna increases, and the attachment to matter automatically decreases. The effort is not on liberation and getting destroying ahankara, etc. That automatically takes place with the increase of bhakti, attraction to Krishna. Okay. In terms of meditation, what is the progress? We can concentrate on the Lord in Bhajana Kriya temporarily only. At Nishta stage, still material traces disturb it. In Ruchi, thoughts, thinking of Krishna becomes long-lasting. We're able to concentrate for a long time. Asakti, as I said, is spontaneous, so it's very deep meditation on the Supreme Lord. In Bhava stage, Spurti means Lord manifests himself. Temporarily, but he manifests himself. Prema, Satyakar. Directly, you're with Krishna in the spiritual world. Okay, that's it. Well, it depends on what I mean by pure devotee. Pure bhakti, if we say the pure devotee performs pure bhakti is defined as sadhana bhakti, bhav bhakti, and prem bhakti by the definition of anya abhilashita sunya. Uttama bhakta, who begins sadhana bhakti with anarthana vritti, bhajana kriya, anarthana vritti, rusi sakti, bhava prem. It's all considered pure bhakti if we follow what Rupa Goswami says. So at the very beginning of your sadhana, you're a pure devotee in one sense, because you're practicing pure bhakti. So that's a very general term. Usually in this kind of pure devotee, we're thinking uttamadikari, which means a prem bhakta. But actually, pure bhakti itself means anya abhilasha sunya, which is sadhana bhakti also. There's three types of pure bhakti: sadhana, bhava, and prema. So even the sadhaka is doing pure bhakti, actually. So he's a pure devotee in one sense.